Hello everyone, it's Bonita and I'm back again today with more information and updates on arachnoiditis. Every day people are having accidents and people are having back surgeries and epidurals that end up causing arachnoiditis. And those of us that have it know that it is a lifelong battle of pain and different symptoms that we continue to deal with, a lot of times on a random basis. They don't have any rhyme or reason to the way that they affect us on a day-to-day basis. For instance, yesterday I had a totally pain-free day in my back. That never happens. That is only the second time that I have been pain-free on one day in my back since this happened in July of 2021. So when you hear people say, oh, I have good days and bad days, I don't have good days. I mainly have bad days. And so that day yesterday, it's like I was walking on eggshells and every little bit just thinking, when is it coming? I know it's coming. When is it coming? And it didn't come, which was really, really weird. And I don't know why. It's just random, like I said. So some of the things we're going to talk about today are the involuntary movements and the spasms that arachnoiditis causes. If you've experienced these, they are very troublesome. You can just sit in a chair and watch your toes move, and you have no control over it. Sometimes it will be one leg, sometimes it will be the other. Sometimes I go to bed and I can feel one leg moving and the other leg isn't. And I'm on one side, I'm on the other side. I get up and walk around the room. I sit on the edge of the bed. Sometimes I come down and sit in the recliner. But it really seems to attack me, or maybe I just notice it more when I'm not moving. And that becomes very bothersome when you're trying to go to sleep and you're laying there and one leg just keeps moving on its own. What I have found that helps me somewhat is to try to lay in different areas where it makes a pressure point that makes the movement stop. Sometimes that's really difficult to find. Sometimes it just takes me getting up and moving around for a bit or doing something different to maybe relieve that pressure on my spine that's causing that nerve to make those involuntary movements. But what I have found to be the most bothersome are the Charlie horses that I have got from time to time. When I first was diagnosed with arachnoiditis right after my epidural, within a month, I had a Charlie horse in the shin of my leg that lasted for 3 days. If you've ever had anything like that that doesn't subside and doesn't go away, it makes you feel like you're losing your mind. It makes you feel like you cannot stand to go another night, another morning if this doesn't end. Just honestly, it makes you feel like this is all I can stand, I'm done. And I don't know why it finally stopped. I tried stretches, I tried everything. My husband rubbed it, anything I could do, and it would not stop. And 3 days straight, no sleep, immense pain. Then I didn't have any more of those. But then a few weeks ago, I got a cramp in my leg, in my lower leg, that would not stop. And if you've ever had cramps before, they start and they last a few seconds, and if you move around and you can bear it, they go away. Well, with arachnoiditis, they don't always go away in a few seconds. They don't always even go away the same evening or the next day. They just power on. And this is the way this one felt. It just felt like it was just not going to end. It went on about 15 minutes and I thought I was going to die. And I told my husband, I can't stand this. I can't take it anymore. If this is going to be another 3-day cramp, I literally cannot take this anymore. And we had some of this It's called a proven old Amish formula. It's from Caleb Trees Organic Farm, and it's made in California. It says it will stop leg and foot cramps in about a minute. I was so desperate and I did not know what to do. My husband said, hey, we have some of this. Let me go get it. I said, I'll try anything. All it has in it is natural ginger, garlic juice, and apple cider vinegar. So I don't know at what quantities it is mixed up, but he came and rubbed this on my leg topically. You can ingest it as well, but as bad as I hurt, I said, I'm gonna throw up if I drink that. I'm in too much pain. So he rubbed it topically on my leg, and I am not lying, within about 10 seconds, it was gone. It was gone that fast. I was so thankful. I could not believe that it subsided that quickly just from him rubbing it on there. So I'm not promoting this or anything. I'm just saying we used this on me and it worked. If you encounter things like that, maybe that's something you might look into, is something topically that you can use that stops leg and foot cramps. And this one happens to be all natural. But if these symptoms that we have that are random, they affect our sleep. And if we don't get enough sleep, we just feel absolutely horrible, and it's really hard to function. And so I encourage you to try some of these remedies, maybe self-performing remedies that I have given you in some of my videos, some of the stretches, some of the equipment like I showed you in the last video that has helped me. It has made a huge difference in me being able to manage my symptoms. And always remember to try to keep as good of posture as you can. I have a friend that I work with that also has bad back problems. She has a herniated disc. I also do too. That's why I had gone in for the epidural, is because I had a herniated disc. And she was getting epidurals regularly. And when this happened to me after my first epidural and I ended up with arachnoiditis and a blood patch, she stopped getting them. She said, I'm scared. I've been taking a risk. I'm not doing this anymore. And so of course she has a lot of pain. And one of the things she told me the other day that she noticed, and she's right, because I've noticed this too since she told me, is if you sit with your legs both on the ground in a 90-degree angle, spread apart, kind of in a natural formation, you will feel better. Be very cautious of crossing your ankles, tucking them under your chair, because when you do that, the back pain starts. And she said she's had to be very aware of how she sits in her chair, because if she tucks her feet together and puts them under her chair, her back pain starts. And I've noticed since she told me that is true for me as well. So when my back starts hurting, I notice, how are my feet under my chair? How do I have them positioned? And I make a conscious effort to spread them apart, put them at a 90-degree angle, and try to sit with them flat on the floor. And my back starts feeling better. So I do hope that these tips are helping you. When do you notice that your pain is worse? Pay attention to what you're doing or what you have done that makes your pain worse. I had a couple of days the other week where I wanted to plant some flowers. How easy is that? And I planted some flowers, and just the bending over in the yard, I hurt for 2 days, and I couldn't sleep for 2 days. I was in so much pain I could barely walk. And I don't want to stop doing fun things in my life. I want to continue to do things that I enjoy, but I also have to pay attention to what sets off that pain, and maybe do it in smaller increments or do it in a different position, like we talked about on how we sit. I have to come up with ways, and I hope that you will help me and help yourself as well as we work together to try to find ways to manage our symptoms. You have a great day.